Welcome to this tutorial where I'm showing you how to set up SurillyaID login in your PHP application. For this, you'll have to first open developer.surillya.com, then sign in with your SurillyaID account or register if you don't already have an account. Right now you can see me signing in with my tester account, which is not an admin or anything. And then you'll get this authorization request from the developer portal itself, because this also uses the SurillyaID login. And you can see that it is made by me, it is verified, it has developer_portal. Then you can see the requested permissions if you want to check, but you just gotta approve this. And there you are. Then when you are in this interface, you can click on Become a Developer to start developing. And there you are. You are on the developer dashboard where you can refer to the documentation, for example. I'm going to open it in a second tab here because I am going to reference this tutorial for this tutorial. So first you got to create your first app in this developer portal. The name should make sense for your application. You can give it a description if you want to. Then you can give it a logo. I'm not going to do that for this tutorial. Then the redirect URI, which is the callback URL for your application. So for example, callback.php. I'll be hosting this test on tutorial.surillya.com, and the callback URL is going to be surillya-callback.php. I'm going to show that in a second. You can name it everything that you want. Just make sure that the callback.php is actually at the place which you enter there, or that the name corresponds correctly. Then you can enter some additional links if you want to. Those aren't very important. It's just there. You can create the application, and there you go. You can see your client secret on the top that you can copy and save this somewhere, because you will not be able to see this ever again. It is stored encrypted on the database. Anyways, you can now see that I've created this Apache 2 vhost with a public and private folder and a .env file with an index.php in the public folder, which is basically empty. I'm gonna show you how to set this up from scratch. I have not done anything big here. In this tutorial, you can see what you actually have to do. This composer command, which installs the required libraries for OIDC. On your typical average Debian web server, you can install Composer if not already done with apt install Composer. You can see that I've already installed it. When you have installed Composer, run the command from the tutorial, which will install the libraries for this project. You can see it is all installed. And when I'm going to reload my file manager, you can see that everything is here. Vendor folder, the composer.json, the composer.log, which corresponds with what is shown in the tutorial. Then you can see me creating those basic files, surillya-init.php, surillya-protect.php. You can see here what I have in the index.php, nothing big, just a basic PHP tag where you put your stuff in, and some h1 and the title, as well as in the public folder, the surillya-login.php and the Surillya-callback.php, there are the rest of the required files, and then we can start populating them. Just check out the tutorial. It shows you exactly what you have to put there. You can call these names whatever you want, like these files. They are not case sensitive or anything. You just have to make sure that the require for the files corresponds with the name that you choose in the end. The names that I put here should work for every environment, so you shouldn't have to change anything. But if you have like a specific naming scheme or something, make sure to change that accurately. Then just paste what's in the Surillya-init.php. This, you can see the cookie lifetime, for example, and the secure true for HTTPS enforcement, and that it loads from the .env file. The only thing you really have to change here is the redirect URL to what is actually used by your application. For me, this is surillya.com/surillya-callback.php. You can see that I'm making a mistake here. It should actually be HTTPS, but I'll come back to that later. Then define the scopes that you actually need. The scopes will be shown on the documentation for what they correspond to, and the call challenge method for secure communication. Then in the .env file, copy these 2 lines from the Node.js section that show you that set up the environment variables. We have to copy paste in your client secret, and your client ID will be in the credentials tab. And if you ever have to regenerate your client secret, if you lost it, you can do that here, which will invalidate your previous secret. And well, we can't show you your old one again because it's, as I said, stored encrypted. And paste your client ID there. Then copy paste over the left the rest of the files. Just copy that over here. It relies on Surillya.init, so you name that a different name. Make sure to correspond to the correct name. Then for the callback.php, just paste that in as well. It also relies on Surillya.init. And it will redirect you to index.php or whatever you can set there when the login is successful. The Surillya-protect.php, the only thing it really does is you can prefix it as a requirement in any files on your web server that require login for the users to access. So it would redirect you to the surillya-login.php or whatever page you define there, like a general login page. And it just won't let you into the site that you prefix it with when you're not logged in. So this is for like chat rooms or anything themselves to redirect you to the login page instead. Then the index.php, you can set this up modularly. That's why I already created some basic stuff into this index.php to show you exactly how to do this. So just copy the require at the top of your PHP tag. It has to be at the top. That is the only thing very important. And then the login button itself, you can style it however you want. There's some SVG assets. Just copy them wherever you want. And everything should work. You're going to see that there's going to be an issue in a second. It does show you the login with SurillyaID button. And it says that there's an that the redirect URI is invalid. I'm going to look this up real quick, what went wrong. I can't seem to find it quite yet. I'm just going to copy over what I entered here and overwrite it right there. And the only real difference was that I entered HTTP instead of HTTPS, which is very important that everything is indeed correct. Reload the page. And now everything works. You can see the authorization request by my tester account with the ID and the name and the required permissions that you set earlier. If you forgot, you can set the scopes that you need in the add scope on the Surillya-init.php and approve. And there you go. There you can see that the name is actually shown and the email, and that everything is working, in fact, correctly as it should. And with this, you can create your own applications, do with this information as you will. And well, have fun with this and goodbye.